Hi everyone, my name is Elisa Monteros. I'm the current coordinator for GAN Guatemala, and it is an honor for me to be able to be presenting this to you. I'm very sorry that I couldn't do it live. So I can share with you maybe a historical overview of what GAN Guatemala has done, what are our current highlights, and what we are planning to be the next steps. And now, to frame the context a little bit, Guatemala is one of the youngest countries in Latin America. Over 60% of our population is under 30 years old, which means that that's a massive demographic opportunity, but it is also a challenge. It's being a challenge. Employers consistently report mismatches between the skills universities provide and what the market needs, particularly in technology, agroindustry, construction, and logistics, which are the four main sectors that we have been working with, and also the biggest one here in Guatemala. Informality remains above 70%, limiting access to formal first employment, which also contributes to these gaps that there is between, the demographic group and also youth employability. Since 2017, GAN Guatemala has become a consistent private sector voice in national employability policy. We have participated in many spaces, government spaces, and civil society spaces regarding decent employment, youth, and employability, and CSR. We also have participated in national systems that try to align training, supply, and labor market demand. With the Ministry of Labor, we issued a positive technical opinion on apprentice contract models and later trained labor inspectors on the apprentice role. This has been one of the key topics that we have tried to push since the beginning of GAN here in Guatemala. All this work with the Ministry of Labor, Ministry of Education, so we can have policies that protect companies and also young people entering the work environment through apprenticeships or work-based learning. All this institutional groundwork has positioned us as a credible and proactive partner for policy dialogue, and this has been proven in this year. Now, at the policy level, we are collaborating with the Ministry of Education Technical Doctorate, DGCUR, which it's basically the purpose of that is to align secondary and technical education curricula with employer competency requirements, which is something that we have heard that the private sector needs, but also now the academic sector, it's kind of acknowledging the need that they have for companies and organized private sector to give their feedback on what they are teaching young people. And this is not only on secondary and technical education, but it's also seen in universities through different mechanisms, but it's still very relevant. We are also continuing to work with the Ministry of Labor to clarify and implement the legal framework around apprenticeships under the Labor Code, or the most ambitious idea is to kind of push forward a dual education law. But that has been a process that we are still trying to kind of find the right partners to be able to do it. Now, all these efforts contribute to a more coherent and sustainable national approach to work-based learning. We've consolidated technical partnerships that strengthen this ecosystem. Some examples, INTECAP is our key ally for training and certification of labor competencies. We have worked with Swiss Contacts, Innova project, and some other projects that they're implementing right now that allows to engage with enterprises to open more structured internship spaces, especially in strategic sectors like manufacturing, energy, tourism, and be able to open those doors to not only youth, but also returned migrants. And then our chamber network serve as the connective tissue, translating these pilot programs into real opportunities for young people, since there is more and more openness, but we are still trying to work on that. Now, one of our most important milestones this year was the exploratory study on university labor supply, which we developed with Guatemala No Se Detiene. The reason for this study was clear. The 2024 talent gap studies that Guatemala No Se Detiene does every 2 years This research reflects employer needs, but didn't capture the student side of the equation. So we had what the companies wanted, we had what the academy had to offer, but we didn't have what young people were expecting or what challenges they were facing. So we tried to fill that gap by surveying over 1,200 students across 5 universities. This dataset now provides Guatemala with its first two-sided view of the labor market, connecting education output with enterprise demand. And it also gives us like the background to be able to continue doing work from GAN. Now, a little bit of an overview of the findings. This confirmed what many of us suspected, even while just seeing the raw data. There's a persistent disconnection between academic competencies and workplace skills. Experience matters. The students who've interned or worked part-time show stronger self-confidence and mastery. The study's recommendations were concrete. Strengthen coordination between universities and chambers, make internships mandatory, integrate soft skill development, and create guidance modules to align salary expectations with market realities. It also calls for tracking competencies from education to early employment and consolidating a national strategy on youth employability built on work-based learning. Also, something that we have noticed, and maybe I'll try to share somehow not only the study, but also the coverage that we have gotten by the media. This sparked something. This sparked a true conversation that we have been waiting to have with all sectors, academic sector, government sectors, and even with young people that are very interested in knowing what they could do to be able to integrate better in the workforce. So this is just going to spark more things aligned with dual education and also all these other things that are missing for young people to successfully obtain their first job and continue their careers. Now, what's next? A little overview. Looking forward, our 2026 priorities are centered on scale and sustainability. We aim to expand this system that we have of internship placements nationwide. We want to keep strengthening the legal status of apprenticeship contracts and establish a unified monitoring system across chambers. This is very ambitious, but we do have, or we want to be able to implement that. We're also exploring a pilot for international mobility internships, which we have been very aided and supported by GAN Global. The intention is to connect Guatemalan universities with selected global companies to provide cross-border learning experiences. And finally, we'll continue awareness and training sessions for both employers, students, and academia to deepen the adoption of work-based learning models. And we are also looking forward to be able to obtain a grant. So it was a pleasure, and I hope you have an excellent rest of the meeting.